Hi, Angela.
Hello, Joyce Burgess. How are you?
Girl, I am fine. I'm so the I would say one of the best things that's going right now is the weather.
Okay,
Here in
okay.
South Louisiana, we're having the best weather. It's cool, it's crispy, it's fall.
Wow.
I was sitting in front of a coffee shop today enjoying the traffic as it passed by and just a nice cup of decaf coffee. I mean, it was just a great day. So we're having some great weather, and I know you guys been having some snow there.
Well, listen. Now, here's the thing about Chicago. They always say if you don't like the weather, just give it a day. You don't even have to give it a day. Just give it a couple of hours, really. So, like on the 26th, I think I posted something to say first day of snow. I like to always go on and say it snowed today because it's always earlier each year, it seems like to me. So, October 26th, we had snow. And then like the last few days it's been 70s and beautiful, perfect,
Right.
picture perfect,
And this
sunny.
is the best weather for hair, right?
Is it?
I know you ladies out there, if we have anyone on, I don't know if you can see. We're gonna just kind of chit chat for another 60 seconds here to just allow people an opportunity to come on. But I'm just loving it, this weather for ladies' hair. It's just great. No
Absolutely, absolutely.
humidity. So
Yes, 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 yes. So,
mhm.
but this is my favorite season anyway. So, my
Mine
favorite
too.
time of year.
Mine
Um,
too.
I'm going to share to my page, so hopefully other people will be on and get a chance to see what we're doing and connect with us because we'd like for this to be as interactive as possible. So if you have
Absolutely.
any questions about anything that we're talking about as we're going through things, you can give us a thumbs up or we'd like your input as well. So we're not just on here presenting, but we'd like to get you involved if you'd like to be involved in the conversation. This is Parents as Teachers at Home, our
Absolutely.
path program, and we have our very fabulous founder, and she is the orchestrator of this program and all things NBHE. Joyce
Yes.
Burgess, lead us into what we're going to talk about today, Joyce.
Well, definitely. But before I do that, you've shared it to your page. I'm wondering if I need to share it again to my Joyce Burgess homeschool page. What do you
Hmm.
think? If people,
Sure.
I don't know how to do, I'll have to go out to do that.
Well, you should have another tab open at the top.
Oh,
And if you go to your Facebook, you'll still be on camera and we can still see you. Just open up a separate tab and go to your
okay.
page, go to path, and then share it to wherever you want to share it.
Gotcha. I'm doing just that.
Okay. All right. I
Yeah,
can
sure.
recap while you do that. I can recap for about what we've done to date and kind of bring
Yeah, that's,
people up to
I'm back.
par.
I did it already, but you go
Oh,
ahead and recap. I
look
like
at
that. Go ahead
you,
and
Miss
recap. Girl,
Miss Technically Savvy.
I'm
Oh my
learning.
goodness, I'm impressed.
I'm learning. I'm learning. It's been a long, I mean, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm
I
not calling
beg to
myself,
differ.
I'm not calling myself an old dog, but I tell you what, I
Exactly.
may learn slow, but my goal is to learn it. And you've been an amazing,
Oh,
outstanding teacher.
oh, thank you, Joyce. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Mhm.
I love working together in this platform because both of us have a heart for children. I love
Yes.
technology. I love teaching adults. I love teaching anything. I just have just discovered that I'm a teacher at heart, regardless to what or who or however, but my heart is for children. It has always,
Yes.
always, always been all of my life.
And
Children's
always will.
choirs, Sunday school children,
Oh, that's great.
church children, all kind of children, family children. I just
Mhm.
children, children, children. I have a heart for children
Well, you
because they're
sound like
so.
Frederick Douglass.
Oh,
Go
really?
ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because children are so. I love to see the light go off in
Hmm.
their heads, their hearts when you teach them something they didn't know or something that sparks their passion or their interest. They're like,
Right.
ah,
Right.
and that just you've touched a place in them that would not have been touched if you had not spent that time with them. Because can't you remember teachers in your life that made an impact?
Oh, yeah. I
You
still
know?
remember those teachers today. I
Yeah.
remember, and the thing about it, whether parents or whether anybody realizes it or not, when you're teaching children or when you're in the space of children, They are sniffing out every aspect of you, the way your hands are, the way your skin is, what you
Yes.
smell like. Because I remember with my second grade teacher, I remember what her hands felt like. I remember
Wow.
her skin was always, it felt wet and smooth.
Hmm.
And she was just amazing. She spent time with us. I knew she was interested in me. So
Aw.
that's
Aw.
true. But Frederick Douglass said that I would rather build strong children. And that's what
Mm.
parents as teachers at home is all about,
Mhm.
encouraging and inspiring and empowering those parents to build strong children. And may I suggest to parents, even though you're building your children, beware of, be advised to build the children around you in your church, in your neighborhood, in your community, because once your children go out, that's who they have to associate with. I remember as I was homeschooling my children, I used to have what I call neighborhood front porch reading. And that's where I would go one day a week on my front porch. I start with my children that were in my block, and I read a story to those children sitting on my front porch.
Aw.
And some of those kids still remember that today.
I'm sure.
So, if we're ready to begin, then I'm just going to give a little opening. Once again, I'm Joyce Burgess. I'm the CEO and co founder, along with my husband Eric, of the National Black Home Educators. The National Black Home Educators is an organization that empowers parents to educate their children for excellence. We are not an exclusive organization, meaning our services are open to anyone who's like minded and who see that there's a need for African American curriculum, African American heroes, where our children can be inspired. African American, how to teach math, how to teach reading, how to teach poetry, how to teach language, how to teach reading and writing, spelling, vocabularies, cursive handwriting, which is almost gone out the door, right? But I do
Yes.
believe that cursive handwriting is important. So I'm not going to chase that rabbit right now. But the National Black Home Educators has been around for more than 20 years. And we encourage you to go and visit that website, which has been updated just for you. It's www.nbhe.net. You're also welcome to go on there, sign up, be a part of our every week or every 2 weeks. I just sometimes I feel like talking to you guys every 2 weeks, but more consistently, it's an every 2 week newsletter that we send out. Sign up for it. We'll be happy, happy, happy to add you to that email list. And also, a sister, so to speak, website is Joyce M. Burgess, and that's Burgess with one S.com. And it also offers supplemental lessons that we're going to be discussing more in the future. But I want to tell you about PATH for those of you who do not know and you're new, but those of you who are not new to this and you are part of PATH. But PATH is parents as teachers at home. It's a part of the NBHE nurturing series because I believe that nurturing is so important for parents who are just starting to homeschool, as well as parents to nurture their children. And it's a 3 week course that Mrs. Angela Valentine and I have put together to empower 80 parents who have signed up to be trained so far as how to rethink the education of their children. And we have gone, this is our fourth lesson we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about GSuite for education. And I know all of you understand the value of technology right now. You understand how we need to expand. You understand how we need to expand our bandwidth so that we can embrace technology, because that's the road that our children are getting ready to take, whether you like it or not. I told my little 13-month-old granddaughter today that She's trying to get my cell phone, and I'm saying, you can't get it until you're 2 years old. I'm
Oh.
joking, of course, but I'm just saying, even at the age of 2 years old, our children are embracing technology. And I remember when my daughter was just 11 years old, my baby girl, 11 years old, and she was making movies. So therefore,
Mm.
parents, we can either teach them how to do it the right way, or we can allow them to just be out there, just skating along in technology and not knowing what they're doing. So Angela today will be presenting to you the G Suite for Education and how to use it in your homeschool and how to get the very best of all of the platforms that Google has to offer in the G Suite for Education. So we're going to dive right in here, and Angela's going to open all of this up to us in such a simple way to where all of you can understand it. And of course, after the in the post chat or in the post presentation, you're welcome to email us. We'll be happy to take some questions, answer some questions, but we're going to allow Angela an opportunity to go ahead and share right now. Angela, tell me, what is G Suite for Education? What is
What in the world is G Suite for education? What an excellent question. And that's a wonderful starting point. I don't know how much further we'll get from there because I would like to, and we've talked about this, take these lessons and build upon them. Okay. So G Suite is a program, it's a suite of applications created by Google. And we all know what Google is, right?
Yes.
Google is a household word. Google is a verb, right? We Google everything on our cell phones, and we Google all over the place. But there is Google for personal use. There is Google for business use. There is Google for education, which is where we're going to park and talk about a little bit today. There's Google for nonprofits. There's Google for governments. Okay. So there may be some other suites that they're adding as well. But the whole premise behind Google for education is to build a system of apps that work together collaboratively so that you can support your education efforts. If your child has ever brought home a Chromebook, because Google makes the Chromebooks, that's their product, they're most likely a Google for Education school. There's also technology in used in different ways with the iPads and some other devices. So when Google for Education opened up for the K through 12 school system, um, and allowed their system, their program to be a part of, technology in the classroom, there were some concerns about this not being accessible to homeschoolers as well, because we want the homeschool kids to get the same access to technology as everyone else. So Google decided to open up Google for Education for homeschools. And ta-da, that's why you have Joyce and I here together today, because I did reach out to her. I'm a Google certified trainer, and they asked for volunteers to support the homeschools, and I raised my hand. I was one of several that raised my hand to do that. And I immediately picked up the phone and called her and explained to her what a wonderful tool this could be to support the parents that are teaching and the co-ops and different ones that are teaching using the technology. As Joyce mentioned, technology is something that we are not at this point, especially in this pandemic, we're not going to be able to get around it. We're in it. This is the new normal. So the best thing we could do is make peace with it, be friendly with it, use the components that we can to help supplement our learning. Now, it's not to take place of the things that we're currently using in our learning. And I will show you an example of that. If we don't run out of time, I'll show you an example real quick of Joyce's supplements, because she brings the content to the table. And I will show how you can use her supplements in her academy to support what you're already doing. The only thing we're doing is layering the technology on top of it. And I'll show you why that's a good idea. So with G Suite, to the long answer that I'm giving you about G Suite for education, there are apps. There's Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and a plethora of other apps that are associated. Google Classroom, which is the feature product of Google for Education, built specifically for the education um, industry. So I will show you Classroom. And because there are so many apps that work together in the cloud, then that means that that's why they called it suite. It's a suite of apps, it's a collection of apps. Now, one other thing that I'll say is the wonderful thing about Google's platform is that it's cross platform. So if you have Windows, if you have iPads, if you have Macintosh, if you have um, Apple computer, whatever you have, it will go, and even smartphones, it's cross platform. So Google is available on each of those platforms, even on tablets and mobile. You sign into one account and then you're able to get access to all your files, which is a wonderful thing. I'll give you just a quick example of how I use G Suite and then I'll show you. But one of the things I do is I set up my son's lessons in G Suite. I'm the teacher and he's the student. And what I can do is once I post a lesson, I'll tell him to go and check his account. And this is the same thing that the teachers are doing right now with the distance learning at home. They'll post assignments and the kids go in and click, finish the assignments. She can kind of check, she or he can check and see the progress and give them feedback. And then you can monitor and add more assignments or whatever you need to do, collaborate together using these apps in real time. So that's the beauty of it. And it's not that you have to learn coding and all these difficult subjects concerning technology. You're just using the technology to enhance and make it more convenient for what you're doing. Okay. So on that note, let me see if I can share my screen here. Joyce, can you see the Google Classroom here? Because I'm on this screen and I can't
Yes.
see. Okay, very good.
Can
So
you make, can it be larger or is it large on?
I'm not sure. Let me go back because I think if the three of us are on the screen, if you don't mind, can I pop your
Yes,
just for a
absolutely.
moment and then bring you back and maybe that will help just a little bit? Okay, okay. Okay, just so we can see an example here. So first of all, I'll show you that where you can access Google Classroom. First of all, let's see, I know it's here in our apps. This is the Google Apps launcher. If you're signed in to your Google account, let me just back up and just take it all the way out real quickly. I'm going to go to Google, Google.com, Google's homepage, Google search page, right? And then if you're signed into your account, you'll have your profile or an initial here that shows you that you're signed in. If you kind of hover over it and let it go, then you'll see what account that you're signed in. If you see a sign in, you need to sign in. Okay. So you're either already in an account or you'll need to sign into your account. Once you're signed into your account, this little apps grid, apps launcher, we call it the waffle for short. The nickname for it is the waffle, will give you access to all of your apps in your G Suite account. One of those apps is Google Classroom. Google Classroom it used to be just for the teachers and students, but they've opened it up for everyone because there's so much collaboration going on in and outside of the classrooms. So you parents at home have access to Classroom. Joyce has the Most Excellent Way Academy where she has all of her supplements already uploaded to the classes and they're just kind of ready to go. I'll let her come in on the back end of this and explain to you how you can get access to those. But as a member of NBHE, and if you're part of this PATH program, we want to make this a little simpler for you so you don't have to create this from scratch. So when you are connected, say, for example, with the Most Excellent Way Academy, you'll see all of these wonderful classes. And then say, for example, you wanted to go into a particular classroom. So this is one of the classrooms, and I just made a sample class here that you can see that maybe a part of Joyce's Most Excellent Way Academy that's already set up for you, but I'm going to walk you through an example, okay? So Path Classroom for Parents. What I'm actually going to do is upload one of her supplements to this Google Classroom and let you see how it works. But first of all, let me go in and set up a few things. So when you first go, this is an empty classroom shell at the moment, okay? So we have several tabs across the top. There's a stream tab, there's a classwork tab, there's a people tab, and a grades tab where you can actually assign grades to the work, and it keeps a roster of the grades, which is just excellent, excellent, excellent. But before we can do anything, we want to add our students to the classroom. So I'm the teacher because it's sitting on my account, and I'm going to add a student. Joyce, may I add you as a student? Joyce Burgess, Joyce M. Burgess. I'm going to add her as a student. Now, you have to have a Gmail account because it's a Gmail function here, a Gmail app. So when Joyce gets this invitation in her email and she accepts, I see that she's a part of my classroom. And then we can have a little stream, a little conversation. I can say, hello, Joyce, welcome to the class, or hello, students, whatever, like your Facebook stream. It's just a stream, to ask questions. This is your conversation part with your students, okay? And then the classwork page, which is I think the most beautiful part of this, is where you load your assignments. So you just click classwork. This is how easy it is. And you create an assignment. It can be a quiz, a regular assignment, a quiz assignment, a question. You can upload material. You can reuse a post, and you can organize your subjects by topic. So let me make it real simple today. I'm going to put an assignment in my classroom, and this is the first one. So I clicked create assignment. Then it's asking you, okay, what is your assignment? This is mastery in mathematics. And this is one of the supplements that Joyce already has available, but I'm showing you how she put it there. Okay. I'm just kind of reduplicating it. And when you get in here and you're a part of her network here, you'll see this already set up and you'll know what's going on. So mastery in mathematics. And we're just going to say the teacher's going to give a few instructions here. Please see the attached document, review, and then take the quiz. Okay, I'm just making this up here. Whatever you want them to do, you want them to review the document, watch a video, whatever you want them to do, and then they're going to prepare for a quiz. Okay. So I've got the instructions here. This is the title and it's the instructions. The next thing I'm going to do is add the material that I need them to link. You can add material from Google Drive. You can link it to a website address. You can upload a file, or you can use a YouTube video that you've curated, for your students that maybe teaches about science or mathematics or whatever that is. You can use any approved YouTube video for your children to watch, your students to watch. So I have a file. I'm going to just upload Joyce's file, and either from your drive or recent, but I know it's upload and it's right here on my folder. And there it is, Mastery in Mathematics. Open it, let it load up. And now it's sitting right here in the classroom, in the assignment. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and assign it. That's all I wanted to do. When my student logs in to my classroom, they'll check the stream for instructions. I can say something like, hello, class. I've added a new assignment. Please complete. Okay, let me type complete correctly. Please complete ASAP. Okay. And then I can post it. So when the students log in, they see the class stream. If someone can't find it, they'll say, oh, Miss Valentine, I can't find it. Can you send me the link, or can you help me out, or whatever? And the class can talk to each other. It's just open chat with each other. And it's secured within this classroom. Then they'll click the classwork tab. And there it is. There's the assignment. You may have several here that they may need to complete, over time. But mastery in mathematics, okay, you can assign a due date. I didn't assign a due date, but you can do that. And then they read the instructions, and then they open the PDF or the document. They read, they do what they need to do, and they can complete the assignment. Okay. On the student side, it looks a little bit different because this is the teacher view. You can see how many students turned it in, how many have not turned it in, and kind of monitor and see what's going on. Um, but the student will be able to say mark is done or turn it in, and then you'll get the feedback on the teacher side. So I'm going to stop right there because that's just enough to get us a little dangerous with this. But just remember that you're going to go to the waffle, the Google Apps launcher. You're going to look for Google Classroom, and then that's where you'll begin to set up your classroom. If you don't have any classes there, it'll ask you to set up your first class. Okay. If the classes that you've already set up, they're going to be right here, and you just click and watch, and see what's going on with each student. Okay. Another quick way to get to Classroom is just to type classroom.google.com. There it is right there at the top, classroom.google.com. And that will also take you right to your Google Classroom. This is the feature product. Joyce, I'm going to go back to our screen here, and I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to hide this now, and I'm going to bring Joyce back. Okay, and okay, there you are.
Okay.
So that's the feature. A product of Google for Education is Google Classroom. That is just the star. It does everything, that it's all in one. It's a wonderful product, and it's something that I hope everyone will at least get to experience.
So our path families, if you're here, and of course, I know that there are going to be some of you who to watch the replay, but our path families, you are welcome to request sign up for the Most Excellent Way Academy if you become a member of the National Black Home Educators, visiting the website www.nbhe.net, and you join the organization. You have access to our GSuite platform to actually become a teacher within that platform, where you can do the things that Angela just showed you how to do. There are classes already in the GSuite
Mhm.
Academy, the Most Excellent Way Academy. There are classes already there that Joyce Burgess, that I've created. You can also create your own classes. You can collaborate with other families, maybe one, two, even, up to what, maybe 10, 12 families. You can start a little co-op, and you're welcome to use the Most Excellent Way Academy GSuite platform. If you become a member of the National Black Home Educators, we will give you access to use that as a practice. Now, the GSuite for Education is available to any homeschool organization or homeschool co-op or homeschool support group if you have a domain. And that is complimentary. There's no cost for that. But if you wanted to be a part of the National Black Home Educators, the Most Excellent Way Academy, if you want to get in there and just test it out, see if you really want to do it, see if you can get to know some other families like Angela just shared with you before, and create your own classes, then we have made this platform, the Most Excellent Way Academy, available to you to have access to that, right?
Right. Oh, it's exciting to me.
Well, and Angela is a technology connoisseur, and I get that. I'm learning technology. It's still not, something I'm really passionate about, but I really don't have a choice at this
Right.
point,
Right.
because while I'm still not homeschooling any children, but I tutor children, and then I'm training parents. And so I encourage you parents to really get in here and learn what G Suite for Education is all about. All you need, basically, if you're not a co-op or a homeschool organization or a support group with a domain, you just need your Google email address,
Yeah. That's it.
essentially.
Hmm.
I don't know if, suppose they had other email addresses. Do they have to get a Gmail address, Angela?
They need a Gmail address. It's a
Yeah,
Gmail product.
that's what
It's
I
a Google
thought.
product. Yeah. Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And Google has made, and during our reading segment of Parents of Path, when we discussed our reading supplement, Angela showed us all of the books that the electronic books that Google has
Yes.
right there in their platform, where you don't have to, I mean, if you want to go to your local library or Amazon.com or your local bookstore, but you still have this other vast resource of technology and of digital books that you can just download to share with your family, share with your children. So we just want to kind of lay the groundwork where Google Suite for Education is concerned, because this is going to pretty much be the structure or the foundation for how we move forward
Yes.
with the other lessons that we have for you in the future. Because I'm a traditional person, but I do believe that there is a collaboration or a common ground that technology and traditional textbooks. I believe that there's a tapestry, a common ground that these two have, because we have to do both. And we
Yes.
have to have all of this well-rounded experience, because all of our children learn differently. You know, with my children, I couldn't just put all of them in one box, and just say, well, hey, you learned to like your brother, so I'm gonna teach you the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that, because you have so many different children, so many different personalities, and so many different teaching practices with each child. So it's just really good to have that traditional way, have that technology, and then to have the blend of both, the
Yes.
traditional, the technology, and then the blend of both, the integration of both. And it just works. It really works. I have seen, I had a phone call from a college. Until colleges are reaching out to homeschoolers more and more. And they're reaching out, not just trying to recruit homeschoolers or children who have been instructed by their parents. They want to offer scholarships because they want you guys. They want your children, if you are interested as a parent, and I say that, if you're interested in your child going to college, they want to offer you scholarships so that they can have the best of the best. And as parents, I know that's what you want your children to have, the best of the best. And so that's what our program is all about, Parents as Teachers at Home Path, walking this journey and helping you to understand what it's like to teach your children at home. We're going to be talking about more curriculum that you can get, more resources for curriculum. We're going to talk about scheduling. Joyce, how do I teach? When do we get up in the morning? Do I fix breakfast? Do I let them fix their breakfast? One of the things I used to do is, I believe in healthy eating as much as possible, especially growing older, getting older. I believe in being as healthy as I can possibly be. So therefore, I did a lot of healthy muffins. And that's something else maybe I ought to talk about one day. Some of my from scratch meals, like making homemade muffins and just pouring oatmeal in it and having that wonderful oatmeal, and not overcooking the muffins, but really getting the benefit of the oatmeal. And so I said that about breakfast. A good breakfast is, if you drink milk, a glass of, a small glass of milk, some juice, some fruit, fresh fruit, maybe no toast, and whole wheat muffin, maybe some grits if you're in the South. But breakfast doesn't have to be that hard for you. And as your children get older, children can help the younger children. So a grab and go kind of thing, where your children can just go grab a muffin, go grab some nuts, go grab an apple. And so we'll be talking more about that, because I know some of those things can be overwhelming. When I was homeschooling, I had so many piles of clothes, piles of paper. That's one thing I'm very happy about where technology is concerned. I'm glad you guys don't see my desk, because you'd say, aha, Joyce, we caught you in a fib. But I like the fact that we're doing so much in technology and digital because I don't have as much paper as I used to have. And so you can store all that stuff. But uh, I just want you to see the benefit of this and to begin to try it so that you can raise academically successful children. And you can do that. It can happen. So anything else? Oh, if you're done, I would like to share with the families who are listening in and who will be listening to the replay
Mhm.
what they will get at the end of this program, being a part of this program, what they will get. Do you have that we can show that, Miss Angela?
Oh, get that slide. Oh, I don't have that slide available. Let me find
No?
it real quick.
Yeah.
Ah, it's in our
But anyway,
presentation, right? Did we have that? Let me
we
put up.
did in the beginning.
Right.
It's on one of the first slides that when we
Okay.
started this, maybe the introduction class, to where
Yes.
parents, if you're participating in PATH, at the end of our 12 weeks training, you will get a complimentary copy of Joyce Burgess's newest book,
Hmm.
Teach Me How to Teach My Child. That is a guidebook for beginning homeschooling and lots of my own personal story, how I began to homeschool, what led us to that decision, and then the resources I use, as well as some of the Joyce Burgess supplemental lessons. How were those lessons created? I don't know everything. I didn't know what to teach my kids. I didn't even know how to begin. Those were crazy, crazy days. I didn't. And I know you guys are probably looking at me and say, well, hey, Joyce, you homeschooled 5 children successfully. Boy, you don't look like you had anything going wrong. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, it was a beginning, and I'm glad I went through that. So, I was reading a poem yesterday that sometimes in your darkest night, in the darkest nights of your life, that's when the stars shine the brightest. And so here I am now with these bright stars. And, it happened because of that darkness. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. So you're going to get that book. And then you're going to get Angela. Tell us what they will get with you.
Yes, they will also get coding for kids. It's a supplement for curriculum for coding. Along with being a Google certified trainer, I get information, I get class curriculum, I get all of this stuff from Google to support, education. So I will be pulling supplements and have those available for you. It's just a click and plug and play. Just very, very simple, but you have to know where to find this stuff. They try to make it so easy for the parents, so and the teachers as well.
Mhm.
So I will have links to that. I also have the 12 favorite apps from Dorian and I over the years. We played with kids apps, and I always he's my test case. I'm like, Dorian, check out this app. This is kind of cool, isn't it? No, mom, it's lame. The graphics are too pixeled, or he'll
Oh,
give me honest feedback from a
and
kid.
he's only what?
He's 11 now, so we've
11.
been doing
And
we've
what's a pixel?
right, exactly, right. So it's how sharp the graphics are in the games and the apps and all of that. If it's kind of old school Mario, it kind of moves like a robot and it's got
Coming
big
from an
squares.
11-year-old, right?
That's pixelated. So
Isn't
kids
that
don't like
amazing?
the pixelated, the old school. They'll tell you immediately, "Oh, mom, that's old." So
Yeah.
it's a challenge to the app developers to keep kids engaged, to just make it snazzy and make it clean and crisp, and
Mhm.
all this Xbox and Switch and Fortnite, all this stuff that is so crisp and clean and fast. Anything that takes
Yeah.
time to download and all that, they're over it already. They're over it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And so if kids can learn that and be so sharp with
yes,
that, how much more do we want them to be sharp with
absolutely.
academics
Yeah,
and math?
absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
we had a session last week on mathematics, and we gave all of these resources for math. And like I
Mhm.
said, parents, if you've signed up, only if you've signed up will you have access to all this great information, this wealth of information that we have curated for you as it relates to how to be effective teacher with your children instead of pulling your hair out. I read some of the comments from some of the Facebook pages, some of the posts, and haven't you, have you had a bad day with homeschooling? And there are bad days, but I mean, gosh, you don't want to live every day in
Right.
your homeschool career as having bad days, because if
Right.
you do, you're going to put those kids back in school. You're going to do it right away. I mean, I don't know how many days, I've thought about, wow, am I doing the right thing, or do I
Mm.
need to put them back in school?
Mm.
But I knew that I was giving time to my family. So parents, when you homeschooling your children, you're giving time to establish and build a strong family. So it's really beyond you, and it's so much more. I look at homeschooling, or living life, rather. I look at living life right here. Life is here. Let's just say that. Life is here. But I want to live life here, you know, because one of the things that I've learned is what parents do in moderation, children would do in excess. So we have to keep the standards high where our children are concerned so that they can at least reach that. If life is here, we keep it here, children will at least reach this, and as they're growing and in the process of time, they'll eventually get there. So we have to make sure that we are on top of our game. Parents, don't be behind the eight ball. We need to be on top of our game. So, and the last resource they get is bedtime stories for children. And you still don't have that, do you, Angela?
I'm looking, you know what, Joyce? I'm
Don't
going to
worry
post
about
it. I promise to post it in the chat
it.
so
Angela
that
will,
they'll have that.
and we will send it to you, to the parents who signed up. We'll
Yes.
also resend it to you all. But it's
Yes.
bedtime stories for children, and it's a beautiful collection of bedtime stories about people like, wow, Mary McLeod Bethune or Frederick Douglass, some of modern day people who've been very inspirational, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And these are bedtime stories that children will have an opportunity, parents, you have an opportunity to read, and it's also learning in the process. So it's a beautiful book that I found on Amazon.com. And as I said, we will post that
Yes.
after in the post conversations. So
Absolutely.
I don't know if anyone came on, Angela, but
Well, I saw a couple of viewers. There are no comments, and that's okay. We like people
that's
to view and watch the replays and just kind of let it sink in and get in contact with us. The most important thing, if nothing else, just sign up. This is a free program. We have free resources, and please, it'd be a shame for you not to take advantage of it if you're struggling, if you need to really know some things that can help you. Our job is to help make your job easier, easier,
can you
easier.
go to the
Okay.
website, the NBHE website, and show them where to sign up?
Okay. Let me see
Because
if I can put that
while
in
we
this.
have quite a few parents that have signed up, we still have a few. I do see a few comments, Angela, that have come through.
They're
Hi,
starting to come through. Yeah.
I see them, Angela.
Okay.
Um,
Can you read them off while I'm pulling up NBHE?
yeah, I see we have my old friend, good friend, Alkini Jackson, and Latoya Paul, and Rachel Gilmore. So thank you, ladies, so much. Please share this. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming on. And I look at Alkini's story, and Alkini could probably come on and share this better than I can. So maybe one day I'll bring her on, and she can share her homeschool experience with our viewers. But
Absolutely.
right here, if you visit the NBHE website, you will see Path
Hmm.
right there.
Right there.
Parents as teachers at home. Sign up right there. And when we get your notification, you will be in the queue for receiving the information. See, Alkini just asked where do we find the information. Go to the NBHE, www.nbhe.net. I think it's on the opening page, right, Angela?
Yes, it's on the
Yeah,
NBHE.net. If you scroll down, you'll see Path. You'll see us there. We're, our kind of logo that you see everywhere. Path Parents as Teachers at Home. You'll just click that. It'll
yeah,
open up and take you to the page to register. You'll see the big register
absolutely.
button. Hmm. Hmm.
Absolutely. I'm excited. You know, one lady, Rhonda Rippey, says, I'm not a parent, but I share to support. Thank you so much,
Yes. Thank
Rhonda.
you,
Really
Rhonda.
appreciate that. Are there any questions before we sign off? We really don't want to keep you long. We just want to whet your appetite. Do you have any questions, anybody? If you don't have any questions, then we're going to, just sign off. How do I get the book? Which book are we talking about, Miss Latoya Paul? Are we talking about,
Sign up.
yeah,
Sign
sign
up.
up. She signed up. As a matter of
Oh,
fact,
okay.
Latoya
She'll get the
Paul
book.
has signed up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you will get the book. If you're talking about the Joyce Burgess Teach Me How to Teach My Child, or Angela's book on
Coding for kids
what is
curriculum.
the name of it?
Coding for kids
Code-
curriculum.
Coding for Kids. Oh, okay, I see. After this session is over, you will get a complimentary copy of Joyce Burgess Teach Me How to Teach My Child. But if you want to go ahead and get it right away, it's Amazon.com. All you got to do is type in Joyce Burgess's book, or Teach Me How to Teach My Child, and you can get the book there. Rochelle Gilmore says, is it too late to homeschool? No, not at
Mm.
all. You can homeschool anytime. You can start tomorrow. You take a look at the laws in your state. Once again, if you go to nbhe.net and go to getting started, there are 5 steps on how to get started, Rochelle. But if you want to look at the laws of your state, whatever state that is, you are welcome to homeschool anytime. It's never too late. And Latoya Paul, you asked about both books. Angela's book is still in process, right, Angela?
Yeah, it's
Or
just a
is it
matter of putting all the links. They're rolling out new information. Google is just, oh my goodness, they're giving us so much information. I want to make sure that I have the latest and greatest updates for you. And that will be a part of the package that we send out at the end of the day. I do have the 12 apps that I spoke about. I do have those that's ready to download. I don't know, Joyce, if you want me to go ahead and send those out or just wait till the end and send it all out with the
no,
packet.
no. If you have the apps available,
Oh,
Angela,
yes.
go ahead and send it to the parents, because
Okay.
that,
Okay.
that can give them a heads up
Absolutely.
on GSuite for Education.
Yes.
And yes, Rhonda, go to NBHE to sign up if you want to be a member of our organization, please. And we will take you by the hand and help you become a great homeschool mom. I think about a homeschool mom either being good or great, and a homeschool mom that gets all the curriculum and does everything she's supposed to do, have all the scheduling. She's a good homeschool mom. But a great homeschool mom is when you can sit that child down face to face and you can tailor a child's education that fits them perfectly. That's a great homeschool mom. And it takes some time to get there, but I guarantee you, I think about what Muhammad Ali said. I had a chance to go visit his museum last year. And one of the things that stuck out to me was when he said, I knew I was the greatest before I was even the greatest. I mean, that sounds
Awesome.
like Muhammad Ali, right? I
Yes.
knew I was the greatest. He said, I knew I was great even before I was great. And
Wow.
sometimes as homeschool moms, we got to keep it positive. And
Hmm. Hmm.
it's hard to do when you have children running around, clothes everywhere, and daddy's looking for a meal. It's hard to
Hmm.
imagine yourself being great,
Hmm.
but you have to think. It's all about what you're thinking. So anyway, we're going to sign off here. Please, we will be available in the post chat. We will still be monitoring this page. So if there are any questions that you have after we sign off, myself or Angela will be happy to answer your questions. And please, those of you who have not signed up for PAC, please feel free to do that at www.nbhe.net. Remember, I love you with all my heart. And remember, God is with us. We are not alone in this. All right.
Absolutely. And to that, I will add an amen.
Amen. All
Thank
right.
you all for joining.
All right. Bye, ladies.
Bye bye.